Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through.
So here we are for round 4 of the Castle Combe Junior Karting Championship. The conditions have been mostly dry today with a little bit of rain in the air, but it has just started to rain at the start of this final, which will make the conditions very difficult for the 6 drivers that have made it into this grand final. It's Jack Meakin on pole position ahead of Joseph Dalgarno. Winner of rounds 1 and 3, Matthew Starke, lines up 3rd on the grid with Harry Sadler alongside him in P4. Jamie Blanchard, making it into the final for the first time this year, lines up 5th, with championship leader Josh Poulain rounding out the grid in 6th. We are waiting for the lights to go green, which they do now, and it's a very good start from Jamie Blanchard from 5th. We're on board with Josh Poulain. Jamie Blanchard's trying to go up the inside. He's outbraked himself and spun Matthew Starke into the path of both Dalgarno and Sadler. So, Jack Meakin leads out of the first corner. Josh Poulain from 6th up into 2nd place, and Jamie Blanchard in 3rd, but will undoubtedly receive a penalty for that first corner incident. Dalgarno is down to 4th, Matthew Starke in 5th and challenging Dalgarno for that 4th place, with Harry Sadler bringing up the rear, also involved in that incident, in 6th place. We're on board with Josh Poulain right behind Jack Meakin, and you can see the black and white flag there for Jamie Blanchard in 3rd place. Jack Meakin in that 1st place, and we've gone in very deep behind him. It is very difficult in these conditions. The cameras do not do it justice. You can just see a bit of rain on that camera there. But all of these karts are on slick tyres, which means when it starts to rain, the temperature in the tyres goes away, and it is so easy to make a mistake and spin. As Matthew Starke challenges Joseph Dalgarno at the top corner, they're side by side, but Dalgarno just holds him off. Matthew Starke in 5th, and Harry Sadler looking to make a challenge in 6th. So we are on board with Matthew Starke, and Poulain has spun ahead of us. Matthew Starke weaves his way through the karts up into 3rd place, and Blanchard goes very wide at that first corner, but just holds on to that 2nd place. So Jamie Blanchard up into 2nd, Matthew Starke into 3rd. So we go on board with Josh Poulain to see what happens. He just goes in a little bit hot, loses the back end and spins, and Matthew Starke takes advantage up into that 3rd place. Again, just showing how difficult these conditions are, with Dalgarno challenging to get past Poulain as well. But Josh has held on to that 4th place. Joseph Dalgarno in 5th, and Harry Sadler in 6th, unable to take advantage of any of the incidents ahead of him. But as I was saying, these conditions are so difficult as we go on board with Josh Poulain again, and you can see Matthew Starke sliding through that last corner and holding onto that 3rd place. And it is so difficult. You have to be so careful. But also Joseph Dalgarno there diving up the inside of Josh Poulain and up into 4th place. But also you've got to be so careful that you don't spin, because you can throw the race away as Josh Poulain dives back up the inside of Dalgarno, back into 4th. So Dalgarno only held 4th for the straight there, and Harry Sadler looking to make a challenge there as we go on board with Matthew Starke. Jamie Blanchard running wide, getting a little sideways ahead of us, and running in very deep into that first corner. Again, struggling in these conditions. So Matthew Starke up into 2nd place, a long way behind Jack Meakin, but up into 2nd. Jamie Blanchard in 3rd with a big gap back to 4th, which is Josh Poulain. Joseph Dalgarno in 5th, and Harry Sadler in 6th. They're still trying to make a move. So Matthew Starke holds that 2nd place, still a long way behind Jack Meakin, who we go on board with now, and he's lost the back end and hit the wall. He's lost a lot of momentum there, and that has brought Matthew Starke right onto the tail of it, but Matthew Starke has lost the rear of the kart there and lost a lot of momentum. So Jack Meakin still has a little bit of a gap back, and Harry Sadler is up into 4th place, and Josh Poulain looks like he's clipped the barrier and dropped back to 6th. So everything happening on that lap. Jack Meakin's lead is down to hardly anything, with Matthew Starke right behind him in 2nd. Jamie Blanchard in 3rd. Harry Sadler up into 4th. Joseph Dalgarno in 5th. And Josh Poulain dropping to 6th, who was the challenging Jack Meakin earlier in this race. Jack under a lot of pressure from Matthew Starke, with Jamie Blanchard right behind in 3rd. So Jack Meakin leading the race ahead of Matthew Starke. Jamie Blanchard, Harry Sadler and Joseph Dalgarno all together, with Josh Poulain bringing up the rear. But Matthew Starke is not close enough to make a move. Harry Sadler having a look up the inside of Jamie Blanchard for 3rd there. They're side by side. and Jamie has just held him off, and Joseph Dalgarno trying to get involved as well. Jack Meakin's got sideways. Dalgarno is at the inside of Harry Sadler. All 5 of them are together, and any one of them could come out of this in the lead, but it is still Jack Meakin holding the inside, holding the lead. Matthew Starke is in second place, and Harry Sadler challenging for third as they're on this last lap of the race. Jamie Blanchard, Harry Sadler has spun, and there's contact and just everything happening behind in that battle for third place, but it is Jack Meakin leading the way ahead of Matthew Starke. There's just a couple of corners to go. Will Matthew Starke be able to do anything? He's closed up onto the back of Jack Meakin. 2 corners to go, and he's just lost the back end, and Jack Meakin holds on to take a very well deserved win ahead of Matthew Starke. We're back with that battle for third. Jamie Blanchard is holding third. Harry Sadler in fourth, being pushed by Joseph Dalgarno into the top corner. And Dalgarno looks like he is through, so he will probably get a penalty for that move. And Jamie Blanchard in front has spun, and Joseph Dalgarno up into third. Harry Sadler has been caught out again, and Joseph Dalgarno comes through, taking the checkered flag and the black and white flag. Josh Poulain fourth, Harry Sadler fifth, and Jamie Blanchard in sixth. Here is confirmation of the results then, with Jack Meakin taking the win and 2 points for his round total. It's always the most difficult to lead in those changing conditions, and he adapted very well. Matthew Starke got involved in that first corner instant, but did very well to get back up to second, with Joseph Dalgarno completing the podium in third. Jack Meakin got the fastest lap of the day at 25.81 when the track was drier. The overall points from round 4 have Jack Meakin scoring 9 points more than Matthew Starke, Dalgarno and Sadler. Poulain and Oliveira round out the top 6 on 17 points, with Jamie Blanchard dropping to 7th after that black and white flag in the final. The championship standings now have Jack Meakin leading the way, 4 points clear of Josh Poulain. Matthew Starke sits third, just 2 behind Josh, with Harry Sadler in fourth, a further 7 behind. Neil McBrader was absent from this round, but still sits 5th in the championship, while the best novice is Joshua Slatter, sitting on 65 points, a very impressive 6th overall. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you again soon.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true.